I'm standing in the living room when my phone rings. It's Mother. Again. Sophia, darling, we need you to come home. Right away. I close my eyes and take a breath. The tone in her voice, that sugary sweetness laced with steel, tells me everything I need to know. Vanessa has done something, and they expect me to fix it. I'll be there in 20 minutes. Emily glances up from her laptop as I grab my keys. She's been staying at my apartment this week, working remotely, and the concern in her eyes is immediate. Your mother? Yeah. Want me to come with you? I shake my head. Emily has already done so much. She doesn't need to witness this circus again. But she stands anyway, crossing the room to grip my shoulders. Sophia, you don't have to go. You know that, right? I do know. I've known for a while now. But old habits die hard. And the ghost of that little girl who spent years with Aunt Clara, desperate for her parents' approval, still lives somewhere inside me. I'll be fine. I just need to see what they want. Emily's expression tells me she doesn't believe me, but she lets me go. The drive to my parents' house feels longer than it should. I pass the old elementary school where teachers used to pull me aside, their faces tight with disappointment over some infraction Vanessa committed, but I confess to. I pass the neighborhood park where I used to sit alone on the swings, watching other families laugh together, wondering why mine felt so different. The house looks the same as always. Pristine. Perfect. White columns, manicured lawn, flower beds arranged with mathematical precision. Everything about it screams success and respectability. Everything about it is a lie. Mother opens the door before I can knock. Her smile is radiant, the kind she reserves for guests and her beloved Vanessa. Sophia, thank you for coming so quickly. Your father and I are in the study. She doesn't hug me. She never does. I follow her through the familiar hallway, past photos of Vanessa's achievements, college graduation, award ceremonies, charity galas. There's one picture of me, tucked in the corner near the bathroom. I'm 7, gap-toothed, standing in front of Aunt Clara's house. I look small and uncertain. Father sits behind his mahogany desk, Vanessa perched on the edge of it like some kind of delicate bird. She's wearing a cream-colored dress that probably cost more than my monthly rent. Her makeup is flawless. She looks like she's about to cry. Sophia, Father's voice is grave. We have a situation. I remain standing near the door. I learned long ago not to get too comfortable in this room. What kind of situation? Vanessa sniffles, dabbing at her eyes with a tissue. Mother moves to stand beside her, one hand protectively on her shoulder. Father clears his throat. There's been an issue at Vanessa's workplace. Some financial discrepancies. Money that was supposed to go to a client trust fund was mishandled. My stomach tightens. Mishandled how? The details are complicated, Mother interjects quickly. What matters is that Vanessa's name is attached to the account. But it was clearly an administrative error. Someone else must have. I would never steal. Vanessa's voice cracks perfectly. You know me, Sophia. I would never do something like this. I look at my sister. Really look at her. At 27, she's mastered the art of appearing vulnerable while manipulating everyone around her. I've watched her do it our entire lives. How much money are we talking about? Father shifts uncomfortably. $75,000. The number hangs in the air like smoke. That's embezzlement, I say flatly. That's a serious crime. Which is why we need to handle this carefully. Father leans forward, his eyes locking onto mine with that familiar intensity. The firm is willing to resolve this quietly if someone takes responsibility. A younger employee, perhaps. Someone without Vanessa's standing in the community. And there it is. The real reason they called me? You want me to confess to embezzling $75,000. Not confess? Exactly. Mother's smile is strained. Just accept responsibility. The firm won't press charges if the money is returned and someone acknowledges the error. You're younger. You have time to rebuild. Vanessa has her reputation, her engagement to Thomas, her future. I don't work at her firm. I've never even been there. How would that make any sense? Vanessa stands, moving toward me with her practiced grace. You helped me with some paperwork a few months ago. Remember? I brought files home. You could have made a mistake with the account numbers. It would be completely understandable, just a clerical error by someone unfamiliar with the system. I stare at her. You're insane. All of you are insane. Sophia. Father's voice sharpens. This is for family. We've always protected each other. You've protected Vanessa. I've taken the blame. That's not fair, Mother says. We've given you everything. Food, shelter, education. You sent me to live with Aunt Clara for 6 years. The words burst out before I can stop them. I was 5 years old, and you sent me away because I was too young to travel with you and Vanessa. Do you have any idea what that was like? The room goes silent. Vanessa's tears have stopped. She's watching me with something like calculation in her eyes. Mother recovers first. Clara was family. She took good care of you. She was cruel. My voice shakes. She made me kneel on rice when I spoke too loudly. She locked me in the closet when I didn't finish my vegetables. She told me every single day that I was a burden, that you didn't want me, that you only kept me out of obligation. That's dramatic, Vanessa murmurs. Aunt Clara was strict, but you weren't there. I whirl on her. You were traveling the world with Mom and Dad, staying in hotels, eating at nice restaurants, going to museums and beaches and all the places I only saw in the postcards you sent. You have no idea what it was like. Father stands. This is ancient history, Sophia. We brought you home as soon as we could. We've more than made up for those years. By making me your scapegoat? By forcing me to take the blame every time Vanessa screwed up? Lower your voice, Mother hisses. The neighbors, let them hear. I'm done protecting her perfect image. Sophia, please. Vanessa's tears return, right on cue. I'm begging you, if this comes out, Thomas will leave me. I'll lose my job, my reputation, everything I've worked for. You're strong enough to handle this. You always have been. And there's the script, the same one they've used my entire life. Sophia is strong. Sophia is responsible. Sophia can handle it. I think about the time in 8th grade when Vanessa crashed Mother's car and I said I'd been driving. I was 13 and didn't even have a permit. But I took the punishment, grounding, extra chores, the disappointed stares from the neighbors who saw the accident report. I think about high school when Vanessa plagiarized her college application essay, and I claimed I'd written it for her as a rough draft. The college counselor looked at me like I was trash, like I was the kind of student who cheated and lied. I think about last year when Vanessa had an affair with her boss, and I let people believe the nasty rumors were about me. My coworkers whispered. My own supervisor pulled me aside for a conversation about professional conduct. Every time I told myself it was for family. That's what families do. They protect each other. But standing here now, looking at these 3 people who share my blood but have never truly seen me, I realize the truth. This isn't family. This is a system designed to keep Vanessa elevated and me submerged. No. The word comes out quiet but firm. Father blinks. What did you say? I said no, I'm not doing this. Mother's face pales. Sophia, don't be ridiculous. This is serious. You're right, it is serious. Embezzlement is a federal crime. If Vanessa did it, she should face the consequences. I didn't do it. Vanessa's voice rises, losing some of its practiced sweetness. How can you accuse me like this? I'm your sister. You are my sister. Which is why I've spent 24 years sacrificing for you. I'm done. You ungrateful. Mother starts, but Father holds up a hand. Sophia. His tone shifts, becoming almost gentle. Almost. Think about what you're doing. If you refuse to help, Vanessa could go to prison. Is that what you want? To destroy your sister's life out of spite? I'm not destroying anything. She destroyed it herself when she stole $75,000. We don't know that she... Mother tries again. Yes, we do. I look directly at Vanessa. We all know, just like we knew she crashed the car, just like we knew she plagiarized, just like we knew about the affair, but admitting it would ruin the perfect image you've all worked so hard to maintain. Vanessa's mask finally cracks. You're jealous. You've always been jealous. Mom and Dad love me more, and you can't stand it. The words should hurt. Maybe they would have years ago. But Emily's voice echoes in my mind. You are stronger than you know. You don't have to carry her burdens forever. You're right. I say calmly. They do love you more. They've made that abundantly clear my entire life. But I'm not jealous anymore, Vanessa. I pity you. Pity me? She laughs, sharp and bitter. You live in a tiny apartment, working a mediocre job with no prospects and no future. And you pity me? I pity you because you've never had to face real consequences. You've never had to grow or change or become someone better. You're 27 years old and you still need mommy and daddy to clean up your messes. Yes, I pity you. Father slams his hand on the desk. That's enough. Sophia, if you walk out that door without agreeing to help your sister, you are no longer part of this family. The threat should terrify me. It should make me crumble, beg for forgiveness, agree to whatever they want. But instead, I feel something unexpected. Relief. Okay, I say simply. All three of them stare at me. Okay, Mother's voice is faint. If that's what it takes to stop being your scapegoat, then okay. I'm done being part of this family. I turn toward the door. Vanessa rushes forward, grabbing my arm. Wait, you can't just leave. What am I supposed to do? I look down at her hand on my sleeve, then up at her face. For the first time in my life, I see her clearly. Not as my successful older sister, not as the golden child, just as a woman who's terrified of finally facing the truth about herself. You're supposed to take responsibility for your actions, I say gently. You're supposed to grow up. I pull my arm free and walk out of the study. Mother follows me into the hallway, her voice rising with each step I take. Sophia, you come back here right now. You're making a terrible mistake. But I don't stop. I walk through the hallway with the photos of Vanessa's perfect life. I walk past that single picture of me at 7 years old. I walk out the front door and down the pristine sidewalk and I don't look back. My hands are shaking when I reach my car. I sit in the driver's seat and grip the steering wheel, trying to process what just happened. I just walked away from my family, from the only family I've ever known, despite how dysfunctional they are. My phone buzzes. Emily, how did it go? I stare at the message for a long moment, then type back, I'll tell you when I get home. Her response is immediate. I'm making tea, the good kind. And just like that, I start crying. Not because I'm sad exactly, but because somewhere along the way, Emily became more of a family to me than my actual relatives ever were. She's the one who remembers how I take my coffee. She's the one who calls when I'm having a bad day. She's the one who sees me, really sees me, and loves what she finds. The drive back to my apartment passes in a blur. I keep expecting to feel regret, to want to turn around and apologize and agree to take the blame just one more time. But the feeling never comes. Instead, I feel lighter, freer. Emily's waiting at my door when I arrive. She takes one look at my face and pulls me into a hug. You told them no. It's not a question. Somehow, she already knows. I told them no, I confirm, my voice muffled against her shoulder. She squeezes me tighter. I'm so proud of you. We go inside, and she makes tea while I tell her everything. About the embezzlement, the demands, Vanessa's tears, Father's ultimatum. Emily listens without interrupting, her expression growing darker with each detail. When I finish, she sets down her mug with a sharp click. They're toxic, Sophia. All of them. You made the right choice. Then why do I feel so guilty? Because they spent your entire life conditioning you to feel responsible for their happiness? She reaches across the table to grip my hand. But you're not responsible. You never were. I want to believe her. I want to feel the same certainty I felt in my parents' study. But doubts creep in. What if Vanessa goes to prison? What if she faces the consequences of her own actions? Emily interrupts firmly. Sophia, you've been protecting her since you were kids. You let her blame you for crashed cars and plagiarized essays and God knows what else. And what did it teach her? That she can do whatever she wants because you'll always be there to take the fall. I keep thinking about when we were kids. Before Aunt Clara, we used to play together. She used to share her toys with me. You were 5 years old. She was 8. Of course, she was nice to you sometimes. But then your parents left you with a woman who abused you while they traveled the world with Vanessa. That's when everything changed, isn't it? I nod slowly. Emily's right. When I came back from Aunt Clara's house at 11 years old, everything was different. I was different, quieter, more careful, desperate to please. And Vanessa had learned that she was the favorite, the important one, the child worth keeping close. What happens now? I ask. Emily smiles. Now you live your life. You build a future that's actually yours. You stop defining yourself by what they need from you. It sounds simple. It sounds impossible. I don't even know where to start. Start by staying here tonight. Start by blocking their numbers for a while. Start by remembering that you're brilliant and capable and worthy of love. She pauses. And maybe start by considering that job offer in Seattle. I blink. How did you know about that? Because I know you, and I know you've been saving that email for 2 weeks without responding. Her expression softens. It's a great opportunity, Sophia. Better pay, better position, and 3,000 miles away from here. 3,000 miles away from my parents. From Vanessa. From all the expectations and guilt and manipulation. 3,000 miles to become someone new. What about you? I ask. Seattle is, I have an aunt there, and my company has an office downtown. I've actually been thinking about requesting a transfer. She grins. If you're interested in having a roommate, that is. Fresh tears sting my eyes, but this time they're different. They're grateful tears. Hopeful tears. You'd really move with me? Sophia, you're the sister I actually chose. Of course I'd move with you. 2 weeks later, I'm packing boxes in my apartment when my phone rings. Unknown number. I almost ignore it, but something makes me answer. Sophia Reynolds? Speaking. This is Detective Martinez with the Fraud Division. I'm calling regarding a case involving Vanessa Reynolds. We have some questions, and we understand you might have information. My heart pounds. What kind of information? Records show you had access to your sister's work files approximately 3 months ago. We need to verify that you had no involvement in certain transactions. So they're actually investigating. Vanessa's perfect facade is finally crumbling. I never worked at her firm. I say clearly. I never had access to any accounts. Whatever my sister told you is a lie. There's a pause. Your sister indicated you might say that. However, we've spoken to several witnesses who confirm your account. You weren't involved in any capacity. We just needed to verify for our records. Relief floods through me. Is there anything else? Just one question. Your sister claims you two had a conversation where you encouraged her to take money from the trust account. Did that conversation occur? I close my eyes. Even now, even facing a detective, Vanessa is trying to drag me down with her. No, that conversation never happened. I didn't even know about the missing money until my parents called me to ask me to take the blame for it. I see. The detective's voice is neutral, professional. We may need you to come in for a formal statement. I'll do whatever you need. After I hang up, I sit on the floor surrounded by half-packed boxes and feel something I haven't felt in years. Vindication. The truth is finally coming out. Not because I forced it, but because lies always unravel eventually. Emily comes in with coffee and Chinese takeout. That was a long phone call. Detective, I say. About Vanessa's case. Her eyes widen. And they know I wasn't involved. They just needed to confirm. But Vanessa tried to implicate you anyway. Of course she did. Emily sits beside me on the floor, close enough that our shoulders touch. Are you okay? Am I okay? My family has disowned me. My sister is under criminal investigation. I'm moving 3,000 miles away to start over in a city where I know almost no one. I'm better than okay, I say, and I mean it. I'm free. 6 months later, I'm standing in my new apartment in Seattle. Floor-to-ceiling windows overlook Elliott Bay. Emily lives 2 floors down. My new job challenges me in ways I never imagined. I've made friends, real friends who like me for who I am, not who I pretend to be. My parents have called twice. I haven't answered. Vanessa left voicemails begging me to help her, to speak to the prosecutors on her behalf, to tell them it was all a misunderstanding. I deleted them without listening to the end. I heard through a mutual acquaintance that Vanessa pled guilty to embezzlement and received 5 years probation plus restitution. Her engagement ended. She lost her job. Mother had a nervous breakdown when the story hit the local news. Father threatened to sue me for defamation, though his lawyer apparently explained that telling the truth isn't defamatory. I should feel guilty. Some small part of me still thinks I should. But mostly, I feel grateful. Grateful that I finally found the strength to say no. Grateful for Emily, who believed in me when I couldn't believe in myself. Grateful for the distance that lets me see my childhood clearly, not as something I deserved, but as something that happened to me. I'm not that little girl kneeling on rice anymore, desperate for approval from people who will never give it. I'm not the teenager taking the blame for someone else's mistakes. I'm not the adult sacrificing myself to maintain someone else's perfect image. I'm Sophia Reynolds. I'm 24 years old. I'm starting over. And for the first time in my life, I'm choosing myself. Emily knocks on my open door. Ready for dinner? I found this amazing Thai place. I smile at her, this woman who chose to be my family when my blood relatives failed me. I'm ready. We walk out into the Seattle evening, and I don't look back. There's nothing behind me worth seeing anymore, only ahead, where my real life is finally beginning.